not going to include us. So if I'm going to write outwardly and I'm going to be courageous, I'm going to do it on the biggest platform possible so I can get in trouble. Because that way, if I get in trouble, good. That means I built a bridge for all of y'all. All right? We need you. I need you to be an ambassador to this. Not just because you won, like if you won an award, I'm so happy for you. Thank you for being part of us. If you haven't won an award, thank you for coming to listen to me, right? Because that means now you got to take that energy and bring it to your kids, bring it to your wife, bring it to your husband, bring it to whoever you love. Because we need you in our classrooms now. I would then say, Educolor is that space for me too. And people say, well, you know, Educolor, you know, it looks like a lot of people of color. Well, it's in the name. Okay, fair. But I would say, yes, Educolor is the space where people organize around issues of social justice and activism and race on the online space. And we have free resources, and we have a website, and we have all these things that we provide for everybody, and we organize around the country. We have over 100 members, yada, yada. And we've met with all these different policymakers, yes. And we have a lot of white people in our space because we don't just need educators of color, but educators of conscience. We need a foundation of love, of compassion, of empathy for every single body. We need a rehumanization for everybody, because when you think about it, it's not just black people and Latino people and Latinx people and Native Indigenous people who are affected by racism. It's also white people, because we all have to feel like we're human beings, and if none of us get the humanity that we need, then nobody is eligible for humanity. If at any point we are unequal in our humanity, then all of us are affected by that racism, sexism, homophobia, classism, etc. Please understand that. Now, and of course, I'm still teaching. Within all this stuff that I do, all the stuff I haven't mentioned, you know, I am still a teacher just like you. I still wake up at 5:30 in the morning just like you. I still have coffee, you know, with my café con leche, con mi tostada from the grocery store every morning just like you. Okay? I'm not as pretty as some of y'all, but I'm alright, right? That's what my wife and son say. I'm the third most popular person in my house, even though I'm more popular than all of them outside my house. Right? But I'm still teaching. That's the heart. And what I'm going to ask you to do from today on is I want you to think about how, because this work is so difficult, we actually need you to be our part. We need you to be me, not just me, like, because I have size 13 shoes, fair enough. Don't be me, but be you. In a bigger scale, you have to do this better than I have done. You have to do this better than my people back before us have done. You have to do it better than everybody else, because you know our kids are relying on us. Not just the 150 kids who I've affected directly, but the hundreds and thousands of kids who I may have affected just by empowering the teachers who I've had in front of me. Just by telling those principals, hey, you got to do right by our kids. Just by telling those superintendents, the John Kings of the world, even the Betsy DeVos's of the world, I'm gonna tell you to your face, you gotta do better by our kids. They need us. And so I'm hoping that New York City is at the forefront of assuring that we are the ambassadors to the work of the kids, to the work of the love, because my kids are your kids. And if in fact, if any of your kids are out there in the world, then they are in fact my kids, because they're gonna affect my kids, not just my son Alejandro, but anybody who I've ever had, the thousands of kids who I've ever taught. Those are your kids are mine. Please understand that. And I thank you for your time. I'm supposed to give a small, I probably went over the 5 minutes, but y'all rock with me, right? I'm supposed to give something about, oh yeah, that's me again in DOE, it's cool. Am I supposed to put up a question? Did y'all put up a question? Was it part of the slide? Oh yes, so, yo, you see I'm a teacher, right? Like, that closing though, I'm bad at it. So, I want you to think about what it is that you want to pursue. What are your passions? What are you really, really passionate about? And I see some of y'all from Math for America. I see some of you from Big Apple Awards. I see some of y'all on different programs. What are you really passionate about? What do you want to build? Like, take the time, like if you're like in 2, good. If you're like in 5, great. Like, I want to hear what you're passionate about. And yes, I'll be walking around to monitor and make sure you're doing your job. All right? All right, so I think we have how many minutes? How many minutes?
We got 9 minutes.
Okay, you have 9 minutes to be very, very passionate.
You have 2 minutes.
Oh. Yo, Black women always are on the forefront. They're on point. It's all love. You have 2 minutes. Get it together. All right, I'll walk around. Thanks.